since this weekend. Tom?
Okay, George Solis for us. We want to head back overseas now to the breaking news out of Turkey that just came in. Just a short time ago, rescue crews successfully brought back to the surface an American scientist who's been trapped in a cave more than a week. Molly Hunter has more.
Tonight, the extraordinary moment rescuers have been working towards as American scientist Mark Dickey is hoisted to the surface.
Mark Dickey is hoisted to the surface. Hoist. If you hoist something heavy somewhere, you lift it or pull it up there. Hoisting my suitcase onto my shoulder, I turned and headed toward my hotel.
It is amazing to be above ground again.
In the last video of Dickey underground inside Turkey's deep Morka cave, he's wrapped tightly to a stretcher. Cocooned so he doesn't slip as rescuers bring him through the final feet of a mammoth 3,400-foot journey to the top.
He is wrapped tightly to a stretcher cocoon so he does not slip as rescuers bring him through the final feet of a mammoth 3,400-foot journey to the top. Cocoon. If something cocoons you from something, it protects you or isolates you from it. There is nowhere to hide when things go wrong, no organization to cocoon you from blame.
In the last few hours, the stretcher rocking and heaving, but making steady progress on the pulley system.
In the last few hours, the stretcher rocking and heaving, but making steady progress on the pulley system. Pulley system. Pulley systems are used to provide us with a mechanical advantage, where the amount of input effort is multiplied to exert greater forces on a load.
The 40-year-old New Jersey native and experienced caver suffered from severe gastrointestinal bleeding about 10 days ago.
The 40-year-old New Jersey native, an experienced caver, suffered from severe gastrointestinal bleeding about 10 days ago. Gastrointestinal. Gastrointestinal means relating to the stomach and intestines. Gastrointestinal (GI) symptoms such as heartburn, indigestion, dyspepsia, bloating and constipation.
The news reached the surface Saturday, September 2nd, and the first medical team to reach him said he was in serious, life-threatening condition. Remarkably, they performed a blood transfusion.
Blood transfusion. A blood transfusion is a process in which blood is injected into the body of a person who is badly injured or ill. The doctor kept the patient alive by constant blood transfusion.
As you can see, I'm up, I'm alert, I'm talking, but I'm not healed on the inside yet, so I'm going to need a lot of help to get out of here.
When he stabilized, the complicated rescue mission began on Saturday, and tonight, the nearly 200-strong team delivering him to safety.
Tom, just incredible scenes in the Taurus Mountains. Mark Dickey is out. He is safe. The plan is for him to be assessed on site, then airlifted by helicopter to a state hospital in nearby Mersin, Turkey. Tom?
Okay, great they got him out. Molly, thank you. And another major story we're following, the FDA today approving updated COVID booster shots to protect against new variants. Miguel Almaguer with more on when they may be available and who should get them.
Tonight's FDA authorization is a major step towards new booster shots. After the CDC meets Tuesday, vaccines from Moderna and Pfizer could go into arms by the end of the week. Drug makers say boosters should increase protective antibodies against the latest strains, including BA.286. The CDC says the mutation shows the ability to infect the protected and even those who've already had COVID, but it doesn't appear to be more severe.
What this booster will do is protect us against severe disease, hospitalization, and the data so far indicate that the booster is well matched to those strains.
Though national COVID cases are no longer tracked, some states are reporting a rise, though not a worrisome wave, in new infections. Hospitalizations are up nearly 16%, even though 97% of adults have some level of protective immunity.
I was extremely exhausted and just like bad congestion.
College senior Lou Maestri just caught the virus as she returned to school, just like many adults have at work and at large venues.
College senior Lou Maestri just caught the virus as she returned to school, just like many adults have at work and at large venues. Venue. The venue for an event or activity is the place where it will happen. The International Convention Center is the venue for a 3-day arts festival.
Last week, a lot of my classes were empty because a lot of kids were reporting that they were sick.
While the federal government will no longer pay for booster shots, most Americans will be covered by private insurance or Medicare. Local clinics are also expected to offer the roughly $120 shot for free. While many new infections are mild, tonight there is concern a winter wave could be near if Americans don't take precautions or get protection.
And Miguel, you reported there cases slowly rising in some pockets of the country. So who should be getting a booster?
Well, Tom, tomorrow the CDC is going to outline who should get a booster, but many experts believe all adults will be encouraged to get a shot, especially if they haven't been vaccinated in some time. Tom?
Okay, Miguel Almaguer for us. Miguel, thank you for that. Today it was a day of memorials and ceremonies across the country, marking 22 years since the 9/11 attacks. Rahema Ellis reports tonight from Ground Zero.
Once again, a solemn day of remembrance. Bells tolling at 8:46 and 9:03, the moment when terrorists attacked the World Trade Center 22 years ago.
Alvin Peter Kappelman Jr.
Then the emotional reading of nearly 3,000 names of those who died that day.
And my poppy, Gerard Patrick Frank, firefighter from Rescue Company 3. I miss you and love you. I wish you got to take me fishing. We love you, Poppy.
In attendance, Vice President Kamala Harris, but President Biden under criticism from conservative outlets for being the first president not to be at the White House or a memorial site on the anniversary. Instead, he was visiting troops in Alaska.
I join you on this solemn day to renew our sacred vow, never forget, never forget.
And the tragedy is still present in so many families' lives to this day, as they're struggling with lingering health effects from the attack. 341 members of the fire department have died from 9/11 related illnesses, almost as many as those who died 22 years ago.
He was great.
Jim Brosey's father, Joseph, was one of them. He died from lung cancer this year.
Lieutenant Joseph Brosey, Engine 88.
And his name was added to a memorial wall at FDNY headquarters.
I walked through those hallways looking at names of people I worked with, people I knew, and the one thing you never want to see is one of your own family. Pain for lost family members, both fresh and lingering.
I just hope you're proud of who I've grown up to be. Thank you for loving us, Dad, and thank you for being my dad.
Tonight, a nation honoring a promise to never forget. Rahema Ellis, NBC News, New York.
We thank Rahema for that, and we will never forget. We're back with more right after this. We are back now with breaking news out of the sports world. NBA star Kevin Porter Jr. has been taken into police custody, and he will be charged with assault and strangulation.
NBA star Kevin Porter Jr. has been taken into police custody and he will be charged with assault and strangulation. Strangulation. Strangulation is the act of killing someone by squeezing their throat tightly so that they cannot breathe. He is charged with the strangulation of 2 students.
That according to 2 senior law enforcement officials. The Houston Rockets guard allegedly attacked his girlfriend in a New York hotel. We're back in a moment with new questions about cold medicine. Does it even work? Welcome back. For years, we were told an ingredient in many cold and sinus medicines like Sudafed and NyQuil was safe and effective.
For years, we were told an ingredient in many cold and sinus medicines like Sudafed and NyQuil was safe and effective. Sinus. Your sinuses are the spaces in the bone behind your nose. I still suffer from catarrh and sinus problems.
But now there are serious questions about whether it works at all. Ann Thompson tonight with what the FDA is now looking into.
It is a key ingredient in many popular over-the-counter medicines like Sudafed PE, Dayquil and NyQuil Severe, phenylephrine or PE. But a growing body of evidence claims PE doesn't work as a decongestant when taken orally. in a pill or liquid.
But a growing body of evidence claims PE does not work as a decongestant when taken orally in a pill or liquid. A growing body of means the amount of something is continuously increasing. There is a growing body of evidence to support the theory of climate change.
Dr. Purvi Parikh is a New York City allergist.
Do you recommend oral PE?
No, actually, especially because recent studies have shown that's not very effective at all.
This week, an FDA advisory committee will have its say, evaluating evidence, including from the agency's scientists, that say while safe, orally administered PE is not effective as a nasal decongestant.
Orally administered PE is not effective as a nasal decongestant. Administer. If a doctor or a nurse administers a drug, they give it to a patient.
It didn't clear Betsy Yates's head.
Just wasn't working and I was miserable.
If the FDA pulls the generally recommended safe and effective designation from oral PE, you're going to have to turn to your pharmacist for medicines available without a prescription but that are kept behind the counter. That medicine contains pseudoephedrine. That's what Betsy used.
You could tell a difference between the Sudafed that you get from behind the counter versus what's just available on the shelf.
The OTC manufacturers group says oral PE should stay, arguing taking the drug away could cause people to delay or forego treatment.
The OTC manufacturers group says oral PE should stay, arguing taking the drug away could cause people to delay or forego treatment. Forego. If you forego something, you decide to do without it, although you would like it. Many skiers are happy to forego a summer holiday to go skiing.
Dr. Parikh says there are better options.
They should switch to those 24-hour oral antihistamines, those nasal steroids, or nasal antihistamine sprays.
They should switch to those 24-hour oral antihistamines, those nasal steroids or nasal antihistamine sprays. Steroid. A steroid is a type of chemical substance found in your body. Steroids can be artificially introduced into the bodies of athletes to improve their strength.
All right, Ann joins us now on set. So, Ann, the 24-hour antihistamines and the nasal sprays, you reported they're better options. But as far as the oral PE, are there side effects?
There are, Tom. Headaches, nervousness, sleeplessness are all side effects. But the question before the FDA is not whether it's safe, but whether this drug actually works. And we could get word tomorrow.
That's Nightly News for this Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Yamas in New York. For all of us here at NBC News, have a great night.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.